This video is to take us through the procedure in regards to how to create a direct profile on the system. When you log into Innkeeper, you will have the Clients tab at the top, and we're going to start the process by clicking on the white page. As I click on the white page, it opens up the Create New Client window for me. So the first place where I start is, where my cursor is flashing, is with the surname. As I start typing in the surname, you will see options become available at the top of everybody that's got the surname Nortje in this instance. And the first thing that we need to do is we need to go have a look whether the person that I want to create, if that person is not already on the system. Now at the top you've got different columns where it reflects an ID number, a member number, surname, first name. If I scroll to the right hand side, I can also see a cell phone number and email address. If you are not able to see all of these columns, you can go to that top gray line, right click on it, and just switch on the columns you want to see as well to make it easier to find an existing client. Alright, in this regard, there is the client that I'm trying to create is not on the system. So I'm going to continue with completing the rest of the information on that needs to be completed. Alright, so I have the surname, then I go put in the first name of the person. Employer, when we're dealing with direct clients, it's not necessary to put in an employer. The next field will be nationality. We specify the nationality of the guest. So you can click on the drop down and type the country name, or you can scroll down and search for it, whichever way would work faster for you. Then ID passport. If we have this information, then we will enter it into the system. So I'm going to go and just put in an ID number there. Then we specify the gender of the person, the title. Is it a doctor? Is it a mister? Is it a professor? And then by the type, we go and we say it is an individual client. It's not a company. It is an individual client. Then we go and specify the date of birth. If we have that information, we can put it in. So I click on the calendar, and then I click on the year, and I go look for the year the person was born. I click on the year, I click on the month, and I click on the day. Alternatively, you can type it in that format. Client code will be generated automatically once we click Create New Client. Then the next fields, we put in contact number. So you will put in a contact number for the person. And this description field is used especially when dealing with companies to specify which extension's number it is. But in this case, because it's a direct client, we can just go say it is their private number. And I specify an email address. Also a description that is private. And I specify a cell phone number. Alright, so those are all the fields we would like to get populated based on the information that has been given. But the most important is we need a name and a surname, we need the nationality, and then we need a email address or a contact number to be able to reach the person. The rest of the information we can get as we continue our communication with the client or with them filling in the registration form at the lodge. So now I go and I say create new client. It opens up a create new client account window for me. The only thing I have to do is I go and I say create account. Then all the information that I've entered in the previous screen gets pulled to this front screen. Alright, so then I continue to complete the empty fields. Give a name. If they maybe go by an alternative name, you can put that in there, or just the same name. Employer, job title. You don't have to put in anything there, but by the greeting you can select when we send our documentation, be it a booking confirmation or a tax invoice, how would we like to address them in that document. So you can set that here by greeting and mailing, and that's what then will be displayed on the documentation that gets sent out to the client. All right. On the right hand side you see the client code that was created, and you see the ID number has pulled through there as well. Then in the middle part we've got the contact numbers that we've added. If we wanted to add an additional one, I can go click on this little white page and I select what type of number it is that I want to add. Maybe I want to add a fax number. I click on the fax option, then I put in the fax number, and I can by the description also just say it is private. Alright, then at the bottom we've got addresses, so we go click on the white page there, and by the description I can go say this is a PO box. By the statuses I also select I'm creating a postal address. Then by the box street I put in the PO box number. The suburb. Then the city. And the state looks at, if you look at South Africa, it will look at the provinces. If it is in Namibia, we look at our regions. So I'm just going to put there Western Cape. Country is South Africa, and then here by code, if I go click on the little magnifying glass, I can go get the code for that area. Now these codes are only for South Africa. For all the other countries we have to manually type in the code. Alright, so at the end, this is everything that we've completed for a direct client. If I go to the top and I click on the print button, then it gives me a client record that I can just zoom in. And it basically shows all the information that I've entered is available in this client record currently. Alright, and those are the steps of creating a direct client profile in InKeeper.